Hi, my name's Dan Junkie, and my late summary is called "Do All Mothers Know Best?" It's basically about a research study that's done with imprinting on three-spine sticklebacks, which are a little minnow native to this area. Imprinting is a strong factor in offspring development across a major part of the animal kingdom. Um, it happens because of hormonal changes in the mother's body, which are transferred to the offspring while still in the mother's body. So in this case, the stickleback mothers transfer it to their eggs while they're still in her womb or belly. And imprinting can affect many things such as brain function, immune function, and behavior, to name a few. This baby pictured here is listening to Mozart, and it's said that the Mozart affects brain development in young kids, and a lot of times what you'll see is a mother actually playing Mozart while the baby's still in the womb. Sticklebacks produce hormones and signals when under a stress situation. So when being chased by northern pike, one of their main predators, they will produce stress hormones. These hormones and signals will imprint on the offspring through the bloodstream or other ways like that. And normally these signals are used to benefit the young animals and sticklebacks into their future environment. They also have many defense strategies that they participate in that were measured in this study. Um, Predator orientation and freezing were the ones that were measured in this study, but there are also other behavioral strategies like shoaling, which is a variant of schooling, and then other defense mechanisms like pectoral, pelvic, and dorsal spines are used, which all can be affected by imprinting. In order to find the effects on imprinting, these sticklebacks in the study were chased with fake northern pike in a lab, and during a predator encounter, the stickleback mother will produce the stress hormone, which will be produced or which will be transferred to her eggs. And in the study, all of the stickleback mothers were gravid or full of eggs. The mothers were chased at random times with fake northern pike. There was a control group too, which is basically just a group of sticklebacks that were gravid but just lived happily ever after and were never chased. And then after the treatment, the sticklebacks were allowed to birth their young, and then the young sticklebacks allowed to grow up, and then they were all placed in a tank with real northern pike, just individually in one tank with one other northern pike. And then behavior of those sticklebacks was measured, and then their survival was timed. Surprisingly, what the research study found out is that the sticklebacks who were treated and exposed to predators were significantly less likely to survive. And they found this result because of a behavioral difference. The only one that was different was the predator orientation behavior, which is just orienting towards the northern pike, which apparently the sticklebacks whose mothers were exposed to predators didn't do it as well as the ones that were the control group. This study is unlike other studies in that it shows that imprinting is deleterious to their survival, which is just doesn't make sense because through evolution the sticklebacks should be preparing their young for the environment and not making them more likely to die. But there can be good meaning taken from the study. We know that information can indeed be transferred from a mother to her offspring before birth, which is a very important concept. There are many variables to these reactions with growth hormone or with stress hormone and signals, and they could result in many different varieties of fitness. And then for future studies, it would benefit this research to be a little more inclusive, in my opinion. There weren't that many behavioral traits that were measured. Like I said, shoaling wasn't really measured, and in other papers, I found that usually imprinted sticklebacks with stress hormone are more likely to interact in shoaling behavior, which could then have changed the research. It could have changed the research outcome to this study if they would have just measured that alone, basically is what I'm trying to say. And then I would have liked to have more variables accounted for in the study. And also, if possible, it would be better to use real predators for treatment instead of the fake one that they used. Who knows how a stickleback would, if a stickleback would even be able to tell, but still it would be better to do it with everything being real. And here are my references. The top one was the one I actually used for my article, and then the other one was just supplemental information.